What's up? They always hate, so it's nothing new for me. What's up, Nicole Hex? B. Moore Brown? After getting whooped at the casino, I blame my mom and grandma for that. I was there with my auntie, my mom, and my grandma. Willie D, what's going on? Officer Ricky! South Cracker-Lacka up in here. What's poppin'? Right now, traffic is smooth. I knew it was going to happen after Kendrick Lamar concert kicked off. Kendrick has invaded Chicago. I repeat, Kendrick has invaded Chicago. Connecticut in the house, without a doubt. Listen, we here to talk about Fat Boy. That boy done took all them liquids and put all that stuff in his butt, did his little exercises, and I'm proud of him, and he's still fat. Rick Ross. Leave it to him to say something completely sexist and stupid. This is why female artists shouldn't even think about signing with Rick Ross or MMG. I don't know why anybody would sign with him. But this is the concern you have when you sign to an artist these days. You assign to a guy that signed to 4 other people. Why would you want that? Oh, Kendrick is huge. Right now, it ain't hardly no cars out here. Everybody is going, and I'm in the inner city, buddy. We on our way to the Lolo. And he's over there at the United Center, because the Bulls, they ain't doing nothing there. He might as well turn that place out. And a situation that's occurring is a simple situation, but they make it more of a problem than what it really is. And the thing is with Rick Ross is that it's a slippery slope. That's why you don't see female rappers really come out. There's a lot of MCs and a lot of artists out there, but the industry and they want to perpetuate that they gotta all be sluts or lesbians. And it's ridiculous. The Cubs and White Sox are playing live right now, and next time they're in White Sox Park, Cubs are winning 3-2. As you can see them bright lights on over there, that's because they in play. See, the Chicago White Sox got a stadium right here in the hood. That's why they say all the blacks root for the White Sox, and all the rich white folks root for the Cubs. I used to live right across the street from White Sox Park. They failed to mention to you that White Sox Park, right where that is like one of the most racist areas in the city of Chicago. On this side is where the uppity rich white folks are, where the mayor Richard Daley's from, and across that bridge to the other side is where the brothers are. And the brothers will come over here to go watch the White Sox game. But they're not allowed to go down that street. Nobody points to that. There you go, Bridgeport. Absolutely. No, don't worry about me. I got it. But this is the kind of stuff I talk about with Rick Ross and MMG. He basically opens his fat mouth and say, now he's trying to backpedal and apologize for what he said about women. Talking about he feel like if he signed a female artist, he gonna have to sleep with her. Have you imagined your boss say that at work? You got a boss and you say something like that at your job. I can't hire you, baby, cause I feel like, I'm gonna have to sleep with you cause you looking so good. So I don't want to put myself in that position. So I'm a hired man. Boss. It keeps feeding that same negative system. Is the reason why women can't get ahead, because they let people like that be in charge of something. And now, if people be like, oh, that's funny, Ross. I'm like, how funny is that? Imagine your sister, your cousin. She's an MC. She rapping, she trying to get on. Is that funny now? And see, that's the thing. Sometimes we laugh at the wrong things. That's an alarming fact. Yeah, exactly. Look at the type of chicks you're letting in the industry. Cardi B. From the stripper pole to the MC on grabbing a mic. It's like, what? So what is this inspiring? Strippers that's on the pole, they got an opportunity to get a record deal more than people who are not giving it up. They want you to be ratchet, savagery, all of these different labels. If you're all these things, you're gonna get a lot of followers. But you're never gonna be a follower doing the right thing, saying the right things. They're not looking at you. You ain't gonna sell any records. Nobody wants to hear a female rapper that raps. I'd be like, why? You heard a male rapper that rap. See, the thing about Nicki Minaj is, if her career is on the ropes, she'll do anything she can to stay relevant. If that white producer tell Nicki Minaj, this is what you gotta do, and she tanking out of panic, she'll do it. Because she done it for free her whole life. She gonna do what she know. They told her, you gotta make out with this girl right here. That's gonna be hot. She gonna do it. My cousin said something crazy the other day. He said, listen to this track. He said, you think Meek Mill wouldn't want to jump on this track? And I'm like, whoa, stop. Why would you want Meek Mill on your track? Period. You don't want that? You don't want to be signed to him? What artist has Meek Mill put out? You signed to a guy that signed to 4 other people. I'm like, do you know before Meek Mill see $1, Puffy gotta get a check, Jay-Z gotta get a check, Rick Ross gotta get a check. For every $1 Rick Ross see, they over there getting 5 before he get 1. And you want to be signed to him? Y'all got the game twisted. All they doing is signing you. By signing you, is they finna eat off you. You know who finna eat off you? Jay-Z, Rick Ross. See, that's how the record business work. You go like, man, yo, why am I paying you? And what's going on here? Why I gotta pay all these people? How am I make my money up? Oh, you gotta sign some people under you so you can rip them off. And you get some of their money. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the only way you gonna lighten some of this load. Diddy ain't even gotta promote Rick Ross and get a check. That's why Rick Ross gotta keep working. I'm like, dude, you got 37 wing stops, right? Why you out here trying to promote another album? He just dropped the album. You know what he doing? Finna drop another album. Cause that album ain't dead. It ain't do nothing but sit there on the shelf and stink. That's doo-doo. You doo-doo and put it right next to Rick Ross' album. That's what you gonna get. All Rick Ross got is the fact that he BS people to death. Think about who is Kendrick Lamar and who is Rick Ross. Kendrick Lamar will give you substance, and he's a better MC than Rick Ross. Rick Ross is a bland rapper. All he is a rapper. He's not a trap star. He ain't sell no pounds. He didn't move no weight. Only weight he moved was the one that stuck in his fat belly. That's the only weight he was moving. Can't even move a couch. How you gonna move an ounce? But then you hear about him being the biggest drug dealing boss in Miami. It's the sickest thing I've ever heard. Now, did some of those guys roll with Rick Ross when he first came out? Absolutely. Because he had some of trick people with him. So some of the real dope boys down in Miami allowed him to come on out. that's the thing about Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill at the Omni in Atlanta back in 1996, she was back there crying because she couldn't get, her and Y Club was fighting. And he was like, me and Prize ain't gonna write your it no more. And she's like, I don't need you to write for me. She had her own crew that was gonna help her with the writing. She only could do cover songs because she can't write. She could sing, she has a nice voice, and she could freestyle. All her raps are freestyle. And she didn't feel confident putting her freestyles on record. So she had a team of writers write for her. And it screwed her up. That's why she could never perform her album, because they had to pay all those writers who she didn't credit on the album for writing the songs. And the studio lost all the money, so they were so mad they were gonna just sue Lauryn Hill for everything. So she had a fallout with the record label. That's why if you go see Lauryn perform her songs, she can never perform her songs, her hit songs, with the music. She always changed the music, because the record label banned her from using her record. She cost the label a lot of money, because the people who actually made the song sued Lauryn Hill, and they had proof that they wrote those songs and made them, and she didn't get them any credit, and the record label didn't know anything about it. That's what they claimed. And on her first debut album, all that money they made, they had to give all those proceeds over to the people that wrote the album, not Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill didn't end up getting a dime for that album. The record label was pissed. Her only album. Why do you think she only has that one album? She can't record another album. I swear to y'all, Rick Ross probably got like 10 albums. And everybody's gonna be shocked. Like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, Rick Ross got like 10 records. He got 10 rap albums. Nobody cares. Nobody remember any of them. None of them are classics. Period. You'll forget about a Rick Ross album in a week. No song he got any staying power. You ask the fans, name me 5 Rick Ross songs. They'll look at you with the most dumbest look on their face. And Every Day I'm Hustling is still number 1. Yes, Jay-Z got classic albums. But see, you know that. When they say name a Jay-Z song, you ain't gonna name something from Blueprint 3 or the Magna Carta. You gonna go straight to them classics. Deeper Than Rap is a classic. What song is a classic on that album? Maybach music should be called Ford Taurus music. I wouldn't even go that far. I call it a Ford Focus or a Ford Escort. They don't even make that no more. It's the place where artists go to die. Wale had a great third flourishing career, but he was signed to MMG. That was on. The best artist they had, Wale. And just like everything he done, Wale come, Wale go. Wale appearances on other artists' songs. You don't see that from anything Wale. You don't see no networking, nothing. I'm like, what's going on with Wale? Now you got Meek Mill crying. Now he on every radio station crying because bloggers don't want to give and show him love and talk about his album. You don't want to deal with bloggers, right? You the one over here dissing them. What they gonna do you a favor for? And promote your garbage. Oh, now you need them. Okay. It's record time now. Oh, the record's out and you a changed man now. I'm 30, man. I'm 30. Nobody care. You was 29, you was an asshole. You're 30, you're an asshole. Nobody going for that because your album is out. Everybody mad at me because I put out a video telling the truth about how they're using YouTube to increase the money, increase revenue streaming sales. And y'all got mad over that. Y'all love that fool so much, go download his whack album and play it. Do yourself, help him out. It takes time for it to be a classic. Did it take time for Blueprint to be a classic? Did it take time for Stillmatic to be a classic? No. They were classics the moment it was dropped. If you hated Jay-Z, you knew Blueprint was a problem. The music never lies. You can hate them, you can do whatever, but the music and the product is gonna dictate what's what. People who didn't like Jay-Z, who was on the side of Nas and everybody else, they was like, ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. They knew Blueprint was a problem. And you know what every Nas fan said? Man, I don't think Nas can come back from this. I don't know if he could do it. And the reason why it was such a classic, it was a whole different zone for Jay-Z. Jay was in a zone rapping. He was comfortable. He was real cocky. He was very arrogant. He was feeling himself. He knew he was in a good space. Then he got caught with the left hook he never saw coming. And that was Ether. Ether changed a worldwide perspective of Jay-Z. Jay-Z became the biggest movement in hip-hop. For the first time, it was cool to hate Jay-Z. And the whole world was singing those praises. So when it first happened, everybody was in shock, or what you would say, disbelief. They were like, nah, this just didn't happen. Did I just witness that? Yes, you just witnessed that. Oh yeah, see the thing is, Godson, when Nas' mom died, it changed the whole Godson album. Godson was not that album. He was going after Cam, Dipset, Nas was throwing darts at everybody. He changed the entire record. And made it more of an introspective type of record, replacing it with songs dedicated to his mom. So you got songs like Heaven, One More Dance for You Mama, you know, and the energy was different. Because you got the song Made You Look. I mean, that was like the set-off song. And Jay was ready to come back. But Jay ended up taking that verse and never putting it on an album. You remember that? He only did it on BET. That was the only time he ever performed that verse. He never recorded it. Real niggas respect it, fake niggas won't beef, cause they know that's the only time we ever gonna speak. We never gonna see eye to eye. Your type of rely don't recognize, it's all televised. Mobsters don't talk, I get it, biz, no business in it. It only brings police. Wanksters won't talk, put your name in the streets. Most time end up where they brain or they feature go. You should know if you gonna do something and you run a radio, we all know you front. They shooting, nobody dying. Somebody better put somebody body on somebody iron sometime soon or somebody lying. Cousin, I'm too tall to act small, you liars. So when Jay dropped that verse, he never put it on an album. Don't ever question if Jay-Z got the heart to shoot you. The answer is simply too dark for the user. You gotta understand, if Jay-Z feels like his back on the wall or you hurt his feelings, he's very petty. He shot his brother over a gold chain. a gold chain. Anybody would shoot their brother over a gold chain because he was embarrassed. What do you think they would do to somebody? Jay-Z never stabbed none. We all know that. His homeboy did it. And he took the blame. His homeboy wasn't going to take the rap for that. And he was like, look, I ain't going away for this, Jay. They ain't going to give you nothing but probation. You want me to go to jail? Jay had to take that case, because if his boy would have went down for that, and he was doing that for Jay, there would have been major repercussions for that. Major. What's up? Who's that? June? Juan? No, that's Juan. What's up, Juan? That's why I said this Charlie Baltimore thing, I don't even think that was true. I know he was with Blue at the time. Jay-Z and Charlie was never really doing nothing like that at the time. He liked Charlie Baltimore because he was trying to be big. And him bringing Charlie Baltimore in the fold was really going to help him out. If you DJ Akademiks, I guess you would be scared of Meek Mill. Meek ain't worried about no DJ Akademiks, he worried about me. Because anybody who's seen DJ Akademiks, they look at him and say, oh, that's the guy I could press. They'd be like, that's the dude that's talking about me? Oh man, full speed ahead, man, full speed ahead. Oh, now we know he gonna be a complex? Bet. I'm gonna get on the show, then I'm gonna punch him in the face. Jay-Z wasn't sleeping with a meal. That was not the case. That's why when Nicki Minaj said, you broke, and she's like, what do you mean you got all these millions of dollars? You broke. If Meek Mill still had money, he wouldn't be back somewhere in Philly, hanging out in Philly. He's like somewhere living in LA now. He had to give up the crib he was in. He had his own crib even when they had that spot over there with him and Nicki. He was staying in Nicki's house. he got money on a tour with her because she kept him on a tour. He was out the business. This is his last go. Wins and losses. What wins? What wins do you have? Wins and losses. It's a 0 under the wins, and it's a lot of numbers under them losses, buddy. This dude has never won a battle in hip-hop history. This clown has won. Signed to like 45 people. And then if you sign forever, and you're gonna be paying other people your money, you're gonna be like, man, what's going on with my budget? You wanna walk in the game with problems? Good, get signed with them. That's all you gotta do. He messed Yo Gotti song up. Gotti is eating off him now. Look at the people he got. He got Gotti eating off him. He got Rick Ross eating off him. He got Jay-Z eating off him. He got Diddy eating off him. That's 4 people that's getting money off Meek Mill. So when your money come in, all 4 of them dudes getting paid before you get your money. 4 dudes eating off you and you ain't making no money? How you signed to a nigga that signed to another nigga that signed to another nigga that signed to another nigga? That's good business? Wow. That ain't no wins and losses, brother. Them are losses. You taking an L on every album. You gonna have to make 5 albums a year. You taking L's, brother. You taking straight L's. People be like, why you riding hard on Meek? Tell Meek Mill I said to make an apology to Karceno for life. If he apologized to Karceno, instead of telling the whole world, man, I was a drug addict, man. I was on lean, man. I was smoking, man. I was messed up, man. I was tripping. Yeah, you was tripping. We know you was tripping. We ain't trying to hear that. Tell the public you sorry. Crying on every radio station, man, I was messed up, man. It was the lean, man. I don't know, man. I was on drugs, man. I was popping pills. Life was too easy for me because I was living it off Nicki. I had millions of dollars. You had millions of dollars, then you could have stayed where you was at. Don't blame it on the alcohol. Don't blame it on the drugs. Come out and be a man and say, look, I apologize to all them dudes in the blogs. I was tripping. Especially you, Karceno, man. I'm sorry, Karceno, man. I was tripping during that time. Because this is why it all got out of control. It spiraled out of control because you decided to mess with me. Y'all got crazy with me and I said, oh, okay. I think I done heard this song before. Now it's like, man, when it gonna stop, man? When it gonna leave me alone? Then everybody left you alone. Now it's, man, why they don't talk about my album, man? Nobody cares about your album. Now you begging people on the blogs to talk about you. Go make your own on your own, and go until he apologized to me, he will always be on my list. Nobody bought Meek Mill's album. They listened to it on YouTube. Why would you buy something you can listen to for free? It was just like I told you in the video. They're going to count the streams of people watching or listening to Meek Mill songs live on the streams, they're gonna count all that up and say, here's the money. Look at the numbers Meek Mill album did. Then somebody and some idiot in my comment section talking about, man, DJ Akademiks already covered this. You just twisted and putting lies on it. I'm like, twisted and putting lies on it? He didn't cover none of this, because you got to know what you're talking about to do this. You can't just read an article, which is what he did. He just read an article and did a video off the article somebody else did. So I ain't hating on him for it, but what information you really got from that? He just told you what was written about the titles and the streaming thing, which we already knew. Why do you think, and that's not a shot at DJ Akademiks, that's just the truth, but why do you think, and I'm saying it clearly because I want y'all to really understand it, why you think you don't see Jay-Z and Meek Mill doing songs together? Why wasn't Meek Mill on 444? Why wasn't Meek Mill album exclusive title? Why didn't he have an exclusive on Tidal? His was released on Spotify, Tidal, everywhere, wasn't it? Where's that Jay-Z verse? You ain't get a verse from Jay? Wow, no verse from Jay? Alright. Jesus. No, well, they did the Rick Ross. What he did to Meek Mill was fine, and what's his name, Wale, he found off of, so that he can keep his money. Once that went down the wrong way, it was over. Why would you go buy it when you can listen to it on YouTube? 90% of y'all gonna be on YouTube anyway. So if you want to listen to a Meek Mill album, why would you leave YouTube? It's right there for you to get. Rick Ross has got to make up the money he losing on Jay-Z and Diddy. And they'll be like, man, you want to make some money? Man, sign some artists. That way you putting some of the bread back in your pocket. So they hit it like, cool, I like that, boss. They all gonna be broke. Ross is doing the best he can. Ross is doing the best he can right now because he was smart with his investments. That's why he went and got the wing stops. He wanted to have some money coming in, but he spend money like an idiot. trying to flaunt, trying to show off. All those cars he had that was leased, because he don't want to be really on them. He bought this one car when he finally paid off the Maybach. He was like, yes. He was in the hole. He went and bought that new crib. He was in the hole financially. He got to keep making payments on it. So it's what you see. It's what you see and what's really happening and what's really in the bank. Those are two different worlds. Those are two different things that's happening. And with Rick Ross, that's where his career is headed. It's like spiraling into the ground. So what you see is reality, and what you see in real life is two different worlds. So now he got Meek Mill, who really ain't bringing him nothing. And now you got Wale, he really ain't bringing him nothing. So he going to do everything he can to keep Meek relevant, because he knows his relevancy is Drake and Nicki. So he going to do an interview. They really just want to ask him about Nicki and Drake. That's it. That's his only appeal. And when that's your only appeal, they thinking like, okay, that's going to get you a buzz. So maybe, you're going to get a song that pop. Nope. The only song they can even somewhat fathom is Liddy. That's what I think. Well, the world been proving me right. Why don't he drop an album? This is like the first album he dropped in I don't know how long. He dropped that one, that was a mixtape, the one that had Lydia again, Lydia again. And that was Tory Lanez. And ever since then, where's Tory Lanez? Tory Lanez is out there messed up. He can't even put an album out. That's what I keep saying. Y'all mixtape people, they come and go rappers. You're going to be a come and go rapper. What do you do when your boss is a lame? I could never work with Rick Ross, ever in history. I could never do that. I could never work with that whole clique. I tell them flat out, I can't work with this. I cannot get jiggy with this. No way. Could not get jiggy with this. No Rick, no Ross, no MMG. No, I cannot get jiggy with this. Oh, I got a new Hummer for the summer. Whoop! Come through with the new roller. Whoop! With a couple new bands and some MMs. Whoop! And that's about 65 Rick Ross songs right there. Yeah, as soon as y'all start dropping money in my account, I'll be dropping a 16. Absolutely. Absolutely correct. Wow. People blowing up my phone when you don't even want to talk to them at all. They still blowing your phone up. It's like chicks that don't get the message. I'm like, I'm busy. I'm making my videos, making my rounds, doing what I do. I have nothing to say to you. Really nothing. Whenever chick play games and joking about shooting you, I ain't even in that mood. But this video, I probably